Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Bitcoin is still playing out the short-term bullish divergence. So yes, I am still in my Bitcoin long position, but with that being said, we're now flashing a new warning signal that we need to pay attention to in the short term for Bitcoin, while Ethereum is now retesting a crucial level on the price chart after just perfectly rejecting from a major point of resistance, while the price of XRP is also now potentially about to retest a crucial area of support. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and not much has changed over the last one day, so I'll keep this quick. Of course, on this time frame, the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. On this weekly Bitcoin price chart, still have a massive bearish divergence, technically still active for Bitcoin. And of course, on this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, still showing a lack in momentum to either direction. If we're talking about the larger moves here on the larger time frames, once again, right now, larger momentum still relatively flat. And if we're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin price chart, once again, we can see the price relatively flat in terms of the momentum, kind of in a bit of a sideways price range between this support and this resistance. First of all, this support is at approximately 107,000 and this resistance is at approximately 117,000. And as for short-term support and resistance levels, we do have a little bit of short-term resistance at roughly 114,500. And then if we can break out back above that level, expect to move up towards roughly 117,000 and then expect a lot of resistance around that level. And as for support, we could likely find some support at give or take 113,000. If we break back below that level, expect more support at around 110,500. And if we're zooming further into the short term, taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart, technically speaking, this bullish divergence, at least as I record in this video, is still currently active and obviously has already played out very nicely over the last few days or so, especially with that latest bullish move. And obviously I've been talking about this major bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame playing out in the bullish direction since all the way back down here, which is where I said I'm looking to open a long position, obviously giving you that trading opportunity here as I was entering into a bullish trade. But like I just mentioned in my last video here on the channel, and like I'm mentioning right now in this video, we just hit overbought over the last 1 to 2 days, obviously hit overbought in the 4-hour RSI, which is a sign we're going to see a bit of a cool off. And we did play out a bit of a cool off exactly as I predicted in my last video. I said yesterday in my last video, expect some sort of cool off, maybe a slight pullback at some point in the next day, in the next 1 or 2 days is a very likely scenario. And so now that that has played out as predicted, of course, right now we're possibly forming a potential bearish divergence. Now, this is not confirmed. I want to make that clear, but we're potentially getting close towards confirming some higher highs here. Not yet really doing as I've recorded this video, but if we form a slight higher high in the price, while the RSI is indeed currently forming lower highs in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, once again, that's a possible bearish divergence that could form and could possibly confirm at some stage. But once again, I want to make this clear, at least for now, that possible bearish divergence starting to form is not currently confirmed. In fact, it's not even completed the formation phase. We still need to actually form an actual higher high here, ideally in the candle closes on the 4-hour Bitcoin price chart. And so overall, once again, that's a possible warning signal to watch out for in case it confirms in the coming days, but overall still currently more bullish than we are bearish, playing out a bullish divergence, at least here in the shorter term. Once again, the larger time frame still lacking momentum. And right now, obviously, I'm still currently in my Bitcoin long position, as I've been saying since all the way back down here at around 110,000 is where I entered this Bitcoin long position. And at 110K, 111K, when the price was back down there, I shared here on this channel, I'm simply longing Bitcoin. Expect more bullish price action from 110K onwards. And obviously we could see what happened. I obviously predicted that move, which ultimately came next. And you can see here that my trading strategy has not really changed changed at all over the last 1 day. So my stop loss is still sitting at the same level in profits, and also my position size has not changed over the last 1 day. I haven't taken any more profits or added to the trade at all over the last 1 day. And so overall, once again, still long on Bitcoin, but also having risk management so that even in the worst case scenario, for example, having a stop loss in profits, even in the worst case scenario, if the price just crashes for whatever reason, that would hit the stop loss and automatically close the trade at that level in profits. And if you also want to take trades just like this for yourself to make a lot of quick and easy profits in the crypto market, like what I'm doing right now with my own money, which you can see here for yourself very transparently. If you want to do this for yourself, then of course you have to be set up ready to go on a crypto exchange. And personally, I'm taking this trade right here over on BitNex. So I'll make sure to leave a link to BitNex below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim massive trading and deposit bonuses. For example, you can claim up to 120,000 USDT in trading bonuses here, and also deposit bonuses. For example, if you deposit as little as $100, you get a $20 bonus, or if you deposit just $1,000, you get a $200 bonus into your BitNex account. Basically free money from the exchange just by depositing and trading crypto. But these bonuses here are only available if you're using the link below this video to actually make your BitNex account. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, you might as well check it out. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BitNex is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want BitNex as an exchange, there's also 2bit as another exchange out there that I also trade on. So I will also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you could also claim massive bonuses, like for example, up to 10,000 USDT in trial fund bonuses and 8,000 USDT in actual withdrawable stablecoins just by depositing and trading crypto using that link. And on top of that, without making any deposit or any trade, you can get a free $30 sign up bonus in trial funds here, and also 1 month free VIP3 upgrade over on 2bit. So basically very cheap trading fees over on 2bit, but once again, only if you use that link. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a quick look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and obviously we still have that major area of liquidity to the downside at just above 108,000, but we have to keep in mind the fact that obviously over the last 1 to 2 days, we have seen a short squeeze play out, which I'll talk more about in my last video. And of course, a bullish divergence already playing out and still technically active here on the 4-hour time frame, which is helping to push the price a little higher. And so if we're looking at levels of liquidity towards the upside, we can see that right now we have an area at roughly 115,000, more liquidity at around 116.8k to 117,000, and major liquidity at roughly 118.6k. So those are some next major price targets to pay attention to. And with that being said, if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the 3-day time frame, right now we can see the Bitcoin dominance is still actively playing out the short-term bullish divergence, which I've been talking about pretty much every day over the last couple of weeks or so. And so once again, as I've been saying here on the channel, expect just a slight bullish relief in the Bitcoin dominance moving forward as a very likely scenario, and obviously has already been playing out as predicted here on the channel over the last 1 to 2 weeks. And so basically I continue to expect this to continue to play out at least in the coming days here, possibly longer, maybe another 1 or 2 weeks, but at least in the next few days expect a little bit more of a short-term bullish relief for the Bitcoin dominance. And if you're new to all of this, that basically means a lot of the altcoin market, not necessarily every altcoin, some altcoins can be outliers, but a lot of the altcoin market will likely be underperforming Bitcoin, not necessarily massively crashing or anything, but for example, if Bitcoin plays out a decent bullish move like what we saw over the last few days, expect maybe some bullish price action for altcoins under that circumstance, but kind of lagging behind Bitcoin. Once again, a lot of altcoins likely underperforming Bitcoin if this Bitcoin dominance continues this bullish relief, which I do expect and obviously has been playing out as predicted. And if we're taking a look at Ethereum on the 3-day time frame, right now we're still holding above and perfectly bouncing from this area of support in between around 3,900, 3.9k to 4.1k. And so honestly, not a lot has changed on the 3-day Ethereum price chart over the last 1 day. So if we're taking a look at the 8-hour Ethereum price chart, what has just happened over the last 1 day is a pretty much perfect rejection from my exact area of resistance here on the channel, sitting at around 42.50 to 42.80. So pretty much as soon as we hit 42.50 to pretty much the nearest dollar, we exactly hit that level and struggled and rejected from that level, which is to be expected at resistance. And in fact, the price pretty much came straight back into my exact area of support right here, where we've previously seen many major bounces from. And so once again, this area of support is still sitting in between around 40.60 to 4.1k. And this is a crucial area for the price to now hold above, hold as new support, because if the price actually confirms a break back below around 40.60, in that situation, and especially if we fail to get back above that level, would likely see a retracement back down towards these lows, at least back down towards roughly 3.9k, likely lower. But for now, once again, we're simply between important support and resistance. And in terms of what is likely going to play out very soon for Ethereum, simply just pay attention to my Bitcoin analysis and of course the Bitcoin dominance analysis. So basically expect the same thing that I said for Bitcoin, but a little bit worse for Ethereum, due to the fact that the Bitcoin dominance is playing out a slight bullish relief. So it means, once again, a lot of altcoins will likely be playing out similar price action to Bitcoin, but a bit worse, underperforming Bitcoin. And if we're taking a look at Solana on the 2-day time frame, it's a somewhat similar situation for Solana. Obviously, right now, we're continuing to bounce from my exact area of support here, still sitting in between around 190 to 200, and technically still within a larger bullish trend. Obviously, we're still technically forming higher lows and higher highs on the price chart. And if we're zooming into the 12-hour Solana price chart, obviously over the last couple of weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, we played out this bearish divergence on the 12-hour time frame. But as I've been saying, ever since this exact low down here, you can even watch my videos over the last few days since that low down there, I've been saying, of course, expect a bit more of a bullish relief, or at least some sort of break from all of the bearish price action, some sort of bounce. It's a very likely scenario moving forward, considering the fact that we hit extremely oversold in the 12-hour Solana RSI. And so obviously right now this relief is ultimately continuing, but once again, considering the fact that we're also seeing a bullish relief in the Bitcoin dominance, it's likely that the bullish relief for Solana, for the price of Solana, could potentially start to slow down a little bit. Not necessarily play out bearish price action, but just expect perhaps this bullish relief to start to slow down a little bit, start to basically lose some bullish momentum, but once again, not necessarily bearish. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, we still have that massive bearish divergence to watch out for, as I warned about months ago now on the channel. And if we're taking a look at the daily XRP price chart, we're still holding above this important area of support here in between around $2.70 to $2.80. And as for resistance, I would expect significant resistance right here in between around $3.10 to $3.15, and also short-term resistance at around $2.93, which I actually said here on the channel. I warned about $2.93 before we perfectly rejected from that exact level to the nearest cent. And so obviously right now the price of XRP is continuing to respect these important support and resistance levels on the price chart, which means ultimately continue to pay attention to those important levels. And so honestly, not a lot has changed for the price of XRP over the last 1 day. So without wasting your time, taking a quick look at the price of Chainlink on the daily time frame. And right now Chainlink is getting close to testing a crucial area of resistance here, sitting in between around $22 to $22.30 approximately. Expect a lot of resistance around there based on previous significant support flipping into new resistance. And as for support right now, continue to expect a lot of support in between around $19 to $20, which is obviously exactly where the price bounced from, as I've been saying it would before we saw that perfect bounce. But overall, expect once again similar price action to Bitcoin, but most likely a little bit worse than Bitcoin, considering that slight bullish relief in the Bitcoin dominance. basically that is what I'm expecting for Chainlink right now and for a lot of the altcoin market. And once again, if you want to take any trades in the crypto market, like what I'm doing right now with my own money to make a lot of very quick and easy profits in the market, like what I'm doing right now, then make sure to check out the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim the massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can take trades just like this for yourself to make a lot of quick and easy profits in crypto, like what I'm doing right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.